Well, in a state where football reigns supreme, the most daunting challenge has nothing to do with X's and O's.
No, the bigger game involves zip codes and street numbers and whether high school athletes are really living in the district where they play.
Well, Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis is here now with his investigation into two star seniors at one hugely successful program. Randy?
That's right, residents today. Both players' families tell us the Cobb School system investigated them when they first enrolled at Allatoona High School as freshmen. Amid allegations they really were not living in Cobb. Both students were cleared to attend and ultimately play sports. But just as Allatoona was about to wrap up a state championship in football, we got a tip encouraging us to investigate. Well, guess where we found both players? How can your son be playing football in Cobb County when you live here in Paulding County?
Actually, because we moved here.
Try to follow this play. She's in Paulding County. Her son played tailback in Cobb County. He's in Paulding County. His son played safety in Cobb County.
He stays over with my mother's house.
He stays there every night?
Every night, sir.
So no one's trying to pull a fast one on the county?
Two All-State football players who helped Allatoona High School in Acworth win the 5A state championship last year. A great moment for Cobb County. But did Allatoona follow the rules?
The game of football does not work without rules. So here are the key rules when it comes to Cobb County residency. The student must be an occupant of a dwelling within the school system boundaries. And it's got to be a place where the student lives with a parent, guardian, or other person. Follow the rules, and every school would only play the kids whose families legitimately live in the district, shop there, pay taxes there. Every team on an even playing field.
Juanyea Tarver on the stop for the Buccaneers.
The families of both Juanyea Tarver and Russell Halimon told the Fox 5 I-Team that Cobb County cleared them years ago over similar allegations they were not really living in district. But what we discovered raises a big yellow flag about the thoroughness of that earlier investigation.
So all of your kids live in Cobb County?
Yeah.
With your mother?
With my grand, yeah.
But all 5 times we stopped by this Paulding neighborhood, we saw the 18-year-old Tarver there, pulling in after school, leaving for practice. One school morning, we even saw his dad walk out of that Paulding County home with all 3 children, load them up in the car, and drive away.
He lives with my grandmother.
He lives with your
grandmother.
That's his permanent residence?
Yeah, that's his permanent residence.
Well, how come you've been picking him up here?
I haven't been picking him up here.
Well, how come he's been leaving here to go to school in the morning?
He doesn't leave here to go to school in the morning.
He doesn't live here at all?
No, he doesn't.
In 2010, the Tarvers of Paulding County gave guardianship of Juanyea to his grandmother, who lives in Cobb. But 3 years later, when Juanyea's mother filed for bankruptcy, she swore all 3 children were her dependents and listed her address as that house in Paulding County. Neighbors tell us all 3 children live full-time in that Paulding neighborhood with both parents.
Are you Miss Tarver?
So what about Grandma's house in Cobb? Well, here's my conversation with her through an upstairs window.
I'm doing a story about Juanyea.
Well, he's not home right now. He's at baseball.
How often does he live here?
Every day.
He sleeps here every night?
Yes.
And the neighbors say that they live with their mother. They see them over there all the time at their mother's, not here.
Mm-hmm. They live here.
Do they live here just on paper, or do they really live here?
On a 1-yard touchdown run by Russell Halimon.
Then there's Juanyea's teammate, Russell Halimon. He hurt his knee and missed the playoffs last season. We saw him a lot at this house in Paulding County. Here's his mom's explanation.
Our lease was up and we moved here after the football season, and we're staying with my brother right now until we actually get our place.
So where were you living last year?
On Autumn View Drive in Acworth.
And you were living there the entire time?
Correct.
The entire season?
Mm-hmm.
So if we went over there and knocked on some doors, some neighbors would tell us that you've been living there for a while.
Well, I don't know if they would, I don't know what they would say at this point.
Do you remember the Halimons?
No, I don't remember them.
How long have you lived next door?
I've been here for 13 years.
13 years living right next door to where the Halimons claim they lived just last year. The current occupants have actually been there since the summer of 2014, before Russell Halimon's junior year at Allatoona. The football player's learner's permit lists this house around the corner as his address. Multiple neighbors tell us it's been a decade since an African-American family lived there. In fact, there's much more that ties the Halimons to Paulding.
Your car. Is your car got Cobb County plates on it?
No, sir.
So 3 years ago, you put this address down on your driver's license.
Correct.
Even though you weren't really living here 3 years ago.
Actually, I was not living. I was back and forth taking care of my mom and dad, but this is the address I use.
Cobb County's athletic director is aware of these new allegations. So what's the county doing about them? Nothing. A school spokesperson turned down an offer to review our findings and comment on what we uncovered.
Allatoona celebrated its first state football championship ever last season, with Tarver one of the three to hold the trophy on stage. Their baseball team's pretty good too. Juanyea Tarver is their starting left fielder.
Why not just send the kids to Paulding County schools?
Because their mom lived here, and that's where their grandmother lived.
It's a serious situation. If it turns out that he wasn't supposed to be playing for Allatoona, they could lose all those victories.
Oh, definitely.
And the championship.
Definitely. Definitely. Totally understand that.
Well, if so, it would have to be Cobb County's decision, not the Georgia High School Association. Tomorrow night, we investigate the huge loophole in GHSA rules that prevent state regulators from taking action in a case like this. But Russ and Sine, neighbors in Cobb say they have never seen those kids from Allatoona in those neighborhoods.
Wow. What's the reaction been? This has got people talking on social media.
Yeah, I've heard from a lot of people, parents from across the state, who have told us what we already know, that address trickery happens all over the place, and they're frustrated about it. And in a way, you know, the real victims are the families who do it the right way, who follow the rules, because their kids might not get a chance to play. There may not be any room on the roster because they weren't good enough, or not as good as the players who are coming in from outside the district who shouldn't be playing on that team.
They're good players.
Yeah, they were.
And it's bad. It's a shame they didn't have a better example from the adults who were. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Randy, thanks.